I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome,
Oh
welcome.
my God, Mike, you have on a runner hat.
I told Jude I needed a fun hat for tonight. He's wait, I got a runner right here.
It's a good hat.
hmm Courtesy of Katie's care package.
Katie gives the best care packages. I'm starting off with saying that.
Oh, thanks, guys. It just shows that I shop too much, I think.
I mean, hey, you spread the joy. It's not like you're, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, do what I can.
take care of us all. You make sure we have face wash.
I got that on like QVC one day when I was just like, oh, I haven't been on QVC in a while. And they had like a deal for like two of the big ones.
Mhm.
hmm
And then I went through one of them and realized that it like gave me crazy pimples because everything in life does. And I
Oh
was like,
no.
Kelly loves this stuff. I'm gonna hold on to it for her.
I appreciate that.
No
Know
problem.
that every time I'm a grown up and I do a skincare routine at night, I think of you.
Oh,
I was like, Katie would be so proud of me.
I'm so proud of you. I really am.
This is me playing with the lights in this room because I don't
Oh,
know.
your new lights that you plugged in.
Well, so I have the overhead ones. What?
Do disco mode.
Don't do that to me. It's techno mode. Be accurate.
Techno mode?
So we got smart lights in this room, and of course we had to set modes where you just say like Alexa, do this, and then she changes it to different modes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have like that. We have that one set up. We have a wind down, which like puts the lights to like 25%. And
Mhm.
we have relax, which turns one light to like 25% and the other two just turn off.
Guys, I
So
just got a rare visitor.
Hi.
hello.
Yeah.
Nice spicy kitty.
Hello, Miss Mooch.
How
I'm
cute.
shocked that she just walked in here while I was in here because she is normally very antisocial.
Really?
hmm
She doesn't.
Even with you?
She has a
We have
flair for the
three,
dramatics, that one.
and she doesn't get along with the other two, so we have to keep them all isolated.
Oh my goodness.
You
That's a
think after
lot.
what, 3 years
Literally, it's we've had her for 3 years, and it's still
they'd
like
cohabitate, but
nope.
You
They
know,
actually, not to like start off on a tangent about cats,
who
but
cares?
cats, hats, whatever.
um, a few like a week ago, Dennis was at the house alone and he was cleaning up. And one of the rooms we have like a screen door almost like internal on the inside of the house, just so that
Yeah.
cats can see each other, to like try to get used to each other. And we've
Mhm.
had this screen door up probably for a year and a half, and they still fight through it. And the only time they get along is if you're feeding them or giving them treats. Um, and Dennis was doing the cat pen, so he was like in and out of the room. And he left the room and Mochi was in it by herself. And like 5 minutes later, he came back and Maple and Binks were sitting in the room. And he was like it's all on ring, so it's very funny. So he walks in, he's like so confused. You can see his like, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like immediately starts grabbing like Maple and Binks to like get them out of the room because these cats brawl like cartoon cats do, like down to like the tufts of fur flying.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And he gets them out and then he immediately like starts looking for Mochi. And the second that they're both out of the room, she runs out from under the chair like, oh, thank God you're here. But he's like, were they in there the whole time? And I just didn't notice. Did they get it after? Like the fact that they didn't fight was a small miracle in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
My sister has three cats and her newest cat, his name is Ditch. He has three legs. Well, his name is actually Glitch,
I was
but
gonna say, does she have glitch and ditch now? Because that'd be a little funny.
we call him Ditch because Carolina calls him Ditch.
Oh,
And he has three legs and he's the sweetest cat in the entire world. But for some reason, he has like a vendetta against her female cat, Bones. And
uh-huh.
no matter what, he like tries to mess with her. Like he's the kind of cat that you walk into the house and he's like a dog greeting you.
That's how Binks
But
is.
the second they're in the room together, he like won't leave her alone. And she's such an anxiety-ridden cat.
Oh.
It's so sad. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Oh. Katie, you want to bring us in this week? I feel like you did the hosting duties with the pre-podcast.
Oh, okay, sure. Welcome everybody to week episode 3 of DNS Runners. I'm Katie, this is Kelly, and that's Mike. We are the definitely not stressed runners. And the truth is, we are always stressed. We're in week 3 for them of marathon training for Chicago, week 2 for me, and we've decided that we're going to document our journey. We spend most of our days either sending each other random information about aches on our bodies, very strange running occurrences that we're having, or just spamming each other with memes. So we figured it would be fun if we got together once a week, we caught up, touched base, and just kind of kept each other accountable through the experience for training for Chicago. So here we are, week 3.
Week 3.
And I think it's important to start off by saying happy Global Running Day to everybody. We are a day late, but it is the Christmas for runners. So happy Global Running Day, everybody.
I hope Prefontaine filled your stockings with new shoes.
If I get any more new shoes, my husband's going to make me live in a box with them. So those are my hats. But how did everybody spend their Global Running Day? Did you guys run to celebrate? Like, what did you guys do?
You want to go first, Cal?
I did not run. Right now I'm not really in the habit of doing back-to-back days, and I had run on Monday and Tuesday because I had time on Monday and Tuesday, and I'm in a place where, like, if I have time, I get it in.
Right.
So I observed Global Running Day by encouraging everybody to run, but to stay myself, because those are also important. And by rest day, I mean I did strength training. So I still did something.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Mike?
So I was inspired by that TikTok that I sent you guys. That was about getting up at 4 a.m. to go for a run
Did you
because
get up at 4 a.m.?
I did. I was like 4:30 actually.
I actually saw him post that he like woke up early to run, and I messaged him to tell him how proud I was.
Yeah, you did. It was a little boost. Nice.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I can get up and do it. Like the only thing that's stopping me is like the fact that I don't want to. So like it's true. Like I could easily go for a morning run. Like as long as I could set my alarm an hour early, get out and I went out and ended up doing a 5K just because Apple Watch said if I run a 5K on Global Running Day, I got a little medal. So I got a virtual medal, which I shared on social media, so that way everyone knows I did it. So yes, I woke up early, I even stretched before I did it because I was smart on that end.
Awesome.
And I was gonna stop after 30 minutes because I was like, no, I was like, I should only do 30 minutes, give myself time to get ready. I'm like, no, I said I'm gonna do the 5K. Let me just go I can do it. I'll get to work
Right.
on time. Like, and I obviously got to work on time.
Yeah.
But I was inspired to get up early and go
Good
do the
job.
thing.
I'm so proud of you. I love when I see you guys randomly wake up really early and go run. Like, I know that's such a silly thing
Well,
to
because you're the
say,
big
but
inspiration there, Miss. I run in the morning all the time.
I
thank
used to be an
you.
always morning runner in another life.
Yeah,
Like my
but you
morning
know what?
commute, social
Maybe
media story checking is all like, oh, Katie's off for her run. Love this. Inspired
yeah.
for when I get home today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kel, you'll get there again, I think. It's like harder, obviously when you have a really young baby, it's more like, when can I do this? When is it feasible? Like, I just happen to be lucky with, Carolina never sleeping. Somehow she would sleep from like 4 in the morning to 7 in the morning. So I would always use that as like my window of opportunity.
Yeah, right now, if we get any consistent time, it's like 7 to 10 p.m. and that's hit or miss. Like tonight, he did not stay down from 7 to 10 p.m. But
Right.
that tends to be like the most solid block most of the time. So most of the time, once he's down, I wait like 10 minutes to make sure he's gonna stay down, and then I'm like, okay, Dennis, I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I used to do that with Bryce. Like when I first started running, Bryce was just about a year, and I knew that my only window was like 7:30 to 10 o'clock at night. So I was always a night runner. Like when I met all of you, I was like, these people are insane. They get up so early. Like, who does this? And now Miss Lulu gives me my mornings at least. She doesn't give me much sleep, but she gives me the morning, So
You
that's
win some, you
helpful.
lose some.
Something is always better than nothing.
Yeah. So I actually didn't run either. It was my second year not running on Global Running Day, and as silly as it sounds, it like I feel guilty. You know what I mean? Like all day I'm like, "Oh my God, like this is like the day for runners and I'm not out there, but I
Runner's guilt is real.
yeah, and like but I've really become so good at following my schedule.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
like
Yeah.
running was not on my schedule, so I celebrated by doing strength training, and that was fun too.
You're supporting your running. So
Exactly.
how you
So I
get
knew I
like how
had two
Kelly
coaches.
pointed
One
out,
one is my strength coach to make me strong for running, and one is my running coach to make sure I keep doing what I'm supposed to. So I knew one of them would be very happy
yeah,
yesterday. So it worked out.
1 out of 2 ain't bad.
No, 1 out of 2 is not bad. So we're into like what? You guys are in week 3. I'm in week 2. I I decided that this week was the week that I realized I really am training now because my annual giant pimples are starting to pop up that I get every year once it gets hot and I have to run more than 3 days a week. I'm like,
Ugh.
when's it gonna happen? When am I gonna get acne? When is it coming? So I don't know if anyone out there that's listening suffers from cystic acne like I do, but I also have endometriosis. So the combination of like my hormone imbalances plus humidity just leaves me for the entire marathon training block going, oh my God, why do I have more pimples than most people in high school? You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So it popped up this week. It's right here. It's a beauty. And I was like, here we are. We're training for a marathon. It's official.
Welcome to the party, pimples.
Yep, exactly. So I'll be complaining about that for the next, 18 weeks, guys.
As you
There you
should.
go.
No big deal.
Oh
I'm just
man.
glad my bi-yearly sinus infection happened the week before we started training.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't hear for a week, so I would have been miserable running.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine. I can't believe that happens to you every year too. It's so
It's
common that it happens to so many people too, with like the change
yep.
of weather,
hmm
I guess. I don't
It's
know.
usually like right when like that's beginning mid-spring at time, and then
Mm-hmm.
I get it again like September, October.
Oh,
So
that's
hoping
me.
it's the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
Or at
Oh my
least
gosh,
early
yeah, for real.
September. At least early September.
Yeah, seriously. Give yourself either time to recover or just wait until it's all over,
Yeah. Because
you know?
it usually doesn't bother my ears. It's usually like my eyes, which I just deal with. It's like the eye,
Yeah.
like your eye just tear like, but it was rough. It's a rough
Yeah.
couple days.
Not fun. All right. So, what are we training? What are we using while we're running? Have you guys found anything fuel wise that you guys have like found to be like your solid go to at this point? Or are you still like kind of playing around with things?
You want to go, Kel?
I went first last time. You can take a turn.
Okay. So I stick with Honey Stinger.
Honey.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their gels. Especially I like the golden flavor because it's like the other ones are good because you get the nice flavor out of them. The gold one's just honey. It's literally just a honey flavor,
Oh,
and it goes down so smooth. And like my fingers aren't sticky. I'm not like after like not that the other ones really hit me with that. It's just they're thicker,
hmm.
whereas the gold one goes down so nice. It's just
Okay.
it's an easy take,
I
and
feel
I
like
can
there's a joke in there, but I'm just gonna leave it.
okay, on my screen you're over there. So but when I look at it, you're on that side.
Oh
I really
man.
gotta get on that, but yeah, I
What
do Honey Stinger and recovery. Like after run, it's noon, and then I'll have like usually like a Honey Stinger waffle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
I've tried the waffles. I've never tried the gels.
I'll lend you some.
Okay, thanks.
I got whole boxes.
the gummies
And the
are
reason
good too from them.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
oh yeah,
never tried
I
those
forgot about the
either.
gum. I haven't been like on long runs where I've needed to pack the gummies with me, but
Hmm.
I do those too, and I'll substitute like a gel for like a half a package of the gummies. So
Okay.
so for me anyway, like I know when Jude runs, he'll do a whole thing of gummies. Just
Right.
he needs that in his stomach. I think for me it's too much, but
Okay.
um there's no cookie cutter reason. Everyone's different. So
Right. Right. What about you, Cal?
So I have hopped around a lot. I really like the Huma gels
Mm.
and I
Mhm.
like the UCAN gels.
Mhm.
As long as they don't get too warm. The UCAN gels, if they get warm, are a little bit weird.
They
Yeah.
get weird, but I
Yeah.
like them too.
But I would say Huma is probably my favorite. The thing is, I'm breastfeeding right now, so I kind of had to do a little bit more research into like what brands have like
Mm.
recommendations for breastfeeding or not.
Mhm.
Just because you got to be aware of your like your salt intake and your caffeine intake.
Mhm.
So I had reached out to a few different brands, and Huma kind of gave me like you should really ask your doctor. Our ingredients are clearly listed. Like they wouldn't say one way or another, which I thought was weird. Like you can say we don't
That sounds
recommend
like
it,
a
we don't
no. That sounds like
recommend
a
it.
don't do it to me.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
It sounds like
weird.
you don't do it.
We don't want to tell you no because like it could be bad for PR, but like
Right.
it sounds like a
Yeah,
no to me. Like if they're saying, here's our ingredients, ask your doctor. Like
it's
that's
weird.
like that's
That's
something you should just stay
weird.
away from.
Um,
Very weird.
yeah. So I I have a little sampler bag actually right now from the feed that I went on and I ordered like, oh, what different ones can I try? And I
Oh,
think
awesome.
Chicago uses Science and Sport gels, the cis gels,
Oh,
which
I like those
I've
too.
used those before. And when I emailed them, they were like, it's basically just glucose in our gels. Everything in it should be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They gave the disclaimer of like, if you're worried, check with the doctor. But they basically were like, everything in there should be absolutely safe. Be aware of your caffeine intake.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had
That's what
emailed,
New York wrote the New York Road Runners races give out, right? That's them?
yeah,
Yes.
they've done cis.
Hmm.
Yeah. Those
And
are very liquidy. Like those ones are nice. Those
yeah,
are
there's a lot of liquid to them.
yeah.
So I had ordered a bunch of those because the feed did the sale where they were like $1 a gel. So I was like, oh,
Hmm.
sweet, gotta stock up. And Dennis will use those ones too when he bikes. So it's like if I don't wind up using them, he'll use them.
Yeah.
So I have those right now, and I have the Scratch gummies because I've always really liked Scratch.
Yeah.
I don't have a reason for why maybe because they don't I don't think does Scratch even do gels? I don't actually know.
That I don't know.
Like they do
They,
bars and they do like a liquid drink, but I don't think they do gels. Or
I
if
know
they
you've
do, it's
given
anything.
you've given me some when I first started running, you gave me some scratch ones.
Gels?
Yeah, the gummies.
Yeah, the gummies. They're like dense gummies.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're very thick. Those
Mhm.
get stuck in
So
my teeth.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
They're
like them.
not good for my braces, and I
Yeah, I'd
learned that this
imagine that would
week.
be. Yeah. So I did get some of their gummies for like a before after running sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
because I like to have gummies before after running, but like you were saying, everything gets stuck in your teeth during. So I'm like,
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna try to use the cyst during and then the scratch before and after, but I haven't really gotten deep enough into training yet that I'm using anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, I'm just trying to eat whole foods right now as much as I can. We're starting to feed the baby real food, so it's like I'm hyper aware of how much of crap is in everything.
It's
Yeah.
amazing how much you realize,
What you're
like,
putting in your body.
how shitty some of the things in your
Oh,
diet are once you
absolutely.
realize that what you eat is going to affect your child.
It's insane. And it's a little ironic because I work in the industrial baking industry. Like I literally design the machines that they use in these huge mass bakeries. So I'm like,
Right.
am I contributing to this problem?
Well, you're keeping your son safe, and I feel like that's step one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing okay there.
Yeah.
Um, so I actually used Scratch this week for the first time ever. One of my running friends from the runner crew sent me like the most awesome care package of different um fuels to try. That he had, I think he got them at a race that he did, and he had so many extras that he was like, I'll send you a bag.
Nice.
So I tried the Scratch. A, I thought I was gonna break my braces, and B, it said take one per every 30 minutes of exercise. And like I was like, okay, let me like make sure I do this correctly. I felt like they didn't do anything. So then this morning I was like, let me take double.
Hmm.
And it gave me a stomach ache. So I was like, these
Aw.
are these are out. But I generally use Cis. This has always been my go-to. I really love Precision Hydration. I don't know if you guys have ever looked into Precision.
No.
Um, they have a great powder. They have really awesome gels like caffeine, non-caffeine, and they have these chews that are so delicious. They're like blocks, and like they have a lemon mint set, and they are so good. Like I don't know if they're actually doing anything for me or if I just like eating them,
That's making me so
but
happy.
they're so good. So I plan on like just staying with that stuff for now. I've been such like a fuel junkie. Like I feel like I've tried so many things, and I know
Mhm.
that Sis is always like the one that I can rely on for a marathon. Um, I was big into Spring Energy until like all the strike happened. And now I'm like, I'm not going to be using them anymore, you know? Like
Yeah.
it was such an expensive investment, and to find out that like it doesn't even have half the amount of carbs they're telling you it has is like ridiculous. So spring is out. Yeah, but so far, like I always start early with my fueling because especially now that I've been having like stomach issues, like
Mhm.
I want to know now if I'm going to shit myself in October, you know? So
Have
That's
you
valid.
have you guys heard of Morton?
Yeah.
Pronouncing that
yes.
right?
So
Go.
did you try it yet?
I did because when I was training for Berlin, they said that Morton, oh, right there.
Yeah.
Um, they said that Morton was the official like hydration and fueling for Berlin. So I'm like, so now I get like 10 the feed emails a day because they were the only place I could find Morton gels.
Yeah.
Um, but I had tried. I was like, let me, in case, like, if that's on the course and like it's just easier to grab one from them, let me make sure I can tolerate it. I don't know. I think I just got like their regular one. I don't know if they have flavors. I think I just ordered.
Okay.
They don't have flavors.
No,
Okay.
they don't.
So it tasted like nothingness, but with the
Okay.
consistency of jelly. Like the
Okay.
consistency of grape jelly, but
No.
absolutely it's like it's completely tasteless.
Okay. But
Um
did it
I
hurt your
don't know how
stomach?
I would. I'm glad that like. Have you ever seen those like the videos where the girl's like, "Let me, I'm going for, let me try a gel," and just spits it back up because she's not used to the texture. I was like, if I tried that for the first time on a run, it probably would have came back up because I'm not expecting jelly.
Right.
No,
Did it hurt your stomach?
no, not at all. It was just
Wow.
the consistency 100% threw me off, and the pure lack of taste.
Okay, so
It was literally a jelly consistency of nothing, but it didn't bother
Precision
my stomach at
also
all.
has like tasteless uh gels,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't mind. Like it's fine. The consistency is fine with Precision. What I heard about Morton, and this is actually funny, my doctor who diagnosed me with SIBO is a runner, and he's like a hardcore runner. Like when I was like, oh, you know, like he's like, do you run a lot? I'm like, yeah, I run like 20, 25 miles a week. He like looked at me and he was like, that's not a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's like hardcore. I love him. Um, but he's like, you got to use Morton, you know, if you want to like fuel correctly, you have to use Morton. And then he was like, but you might want to like cut it with water because it really kills people's stomachs. So I'm like, you just told me I have SIBO, and now you're telling me to use a gel that's going to kill me, you know? So I heard it could be kind of like harsh, but it's something I want to try.
Yeah, the Feed had done a sample thing where it was like $5 for 5 gels of those ones. So that's I have a few of them. I'll bring you some next time I see you. We can try.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, just be prepared. It's not as thin as other gels.
Do you guys ever think about like being a new runner? Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I first started running, I had absolutely no idea about fueling. Um,
I
my
got
first
that from
half
you.
marathon, I wasn't really like on the internet running area, you know?
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
didn't know how to train for it. Like before I ran my first half, the most I had ever run continuously was 3 miles. And the longest run I had done was 7 miles, and it was like 4 days before the half marathon. I had no idea what I was doing. We survived,
Yeah.
but I had read like the week of the race, like maybe it was at the expo. Like I read like, oh, make sure you're fueling.
Mhm.
And it was like, I think Cliff makes gels, like some brand that makes protein bars also does gels. I want to say it was Cliff.
Okay.
I think it's Cliff. I
Um,
think Cliff does make
so when I
gels.
saw like, oh, use Cliff for hydration, I'd never heard of, or not hydration, for fuel. I had never heard of gels, so I went out to like Target and bought protein bars. Yeah. So I had bought like the Gatorade gummies because those are like readily available at Target. So my first half marathon, my cousin and I ate protein bars and Gatorade
Oh
gummies,
my God.
and he almost died at mile 6.
Oh my God, I would have the worst stomach ache.
That's what happened.
Oh, that is
That's
so good.
wild.
Like I just had no idea. I was just like, well, it said Cliff products, so
That
here's a
is
protein bar.
that is so good. That's great.
Like
I
I
don't
remember
think
I
I
used to.
used, like, I never used anything when I trained for my first handful of halves. Like, I didn't know you were supposed to do things like that.
Same.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
something you think of. You're like
no, and I
running for
actually
X
like,
amount of hours. Like, oh, I need to eat something while I'm doing this.
and like, I never even carried water with me because I used to be like, I don't want to drink because I don't want to pee, like I was like, and I never even thought like I might be dehydrating myself. Like it never once crossed my mind. And I remember training for the 2019 New York City Marathon, my first one, and I ran 18 miles. I didn't bring water. I didn't bring anything. I just went and ran. And I
Oh,
remember like being crippled afterwards. Like it hurt to stretch my legs. And I was like, is this right? Like, is this how you're supposed to just feel every time you do a long run? I didn't know. So I was just like, I guess this is what runners do,
You
And
just suffer.
I was talking to my husband's cousin, and he had ran the marathon years prior. And he was like, "So what are you fueling with?" And I was like it was like crickets. I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what do I eat like the night before?" Like, I honestly didn't
And
understand the
that's what
question.
that's what I thought fueling was before I
Yeah,
started running. I
me
was like,
too. I thought you
oh,
just had to have a
everyone
good
eats
meal.
pasta the night before. Let's go.
Exactly. And he
I
was
do
like,
that 5 times a week.
yeah. And he was like, what are you taking with you? I'm like, I don't take anything. And he was like, you cannot run a marathon and like not drink water and take in salt. He like schooled me so hard. And I went home and ordered so much stuff and was like, I guess I don't know what I'm doing.
oh my
you know,
gosh.
turns out I have no clue.
Yeah.
So, all right, what else do we have for today? Oh, do you guys want to do would you rather? I found some fun ones.
Yeah, let's do a few.
Okay. All right. These are similar to Mike's, but not exactly the same.
Okay.
Would you rather run a 5K where you're pushing or a party pace marathon?
Um,
Like pushing, I'm talking you're giving it everything you've got, 5K, or a party pace marathon.
I am a glutton for punishment, so probably a pushing 5K. Like I enjoy the party pace marathon, don't get me wrong, but just like I think I would go 5K right now.
Me
So
too.
by party pace, you mean like you're keeping up with a group of people, or
You're just doing your thing. You have no time
oh, just like
goal.
you're running it just like you're
You're just
not.
running a run.
Oh, that
Instead
changed
of
my
one
answer a
shot,
lot.
Mike, you do like 10 shots.
Yeah.
Uh, well, no, probably the pushing 5K just because it'll be over quicker.
I'm with
Hopefully,
you. I'm with you guys. 5K.
yeah. Hopefully in
I,
18 weeks we feel differently. We all
I mean,
feel
I did that in one of my Eisenhower Park runs over like 2 summers ago. It was like it was a training night. I was like, you know what, let me just push. I think I finished in like 24 minutes. I was like, that's the fastest I've ever run. a 5K.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I wasn't well when I was done because I wasn't planning on pushing, but I started off strong and I'm like, you know what? I can keep going. Like,
Yeah.
and then I was getting towards the end, and there was one person who worked with, I think it's, was it Glurk, who does those runs, I think, whatever.
Hmm.
And she was like, don't, like, I just looked down to see like how fast I was going. She's like, don't look at your watch, you're almost done, keep going. I'm like, all right, fine. Sprinting to the finish. I was like, damn. I was proud of myself for that one,
That
but
you should
like,
be. That's great, especially like on a whim.
yeah, I was like, I don't think I could pull that off again, truthfully.
Oh,
Okay. Would you rather run a marathon without headphones or without your Garmin?
headphones.
I barely run with headphones anyway, so
I
I
have
can go headphones. I run in silence.
I have plenty of voices in my head.
Just the thoughts.
Oh my God. I think I would sacrifice my Garmin. I think I would do it. I don't think like I've ever gone out for a run. Actually, one time my run died my run died. I mean my
Your
headphones
run
died.
died?
My
Wow.
run died. My
R.I.P.
headphones died on mile like 2 of a 15-mile run. And it was like gloomy out and raining. and I was by myself, and I was like, this is my idea of hell. Like, I have to just keep myself entertained until I
Yeah.
get home. So I think I'd sacrifice my watch.
I mean, recently I've been listening to audiobooks while I run,
Mhm.
but that's only like if I was at a really good point, I wanted to keep listening. But most of the time it's silent. Like I always bring like when for marathons or even halves, I always bring headphones with me. Like
And then you don't
they're
use
always in
them.
my belt or in my hydration bag. They're somewhere. Do I use them? Who knows?
I'm so impressed by people who can do that. And like, I have a friend who runs, and he's always like, you're not really like getting the full experience unless you can actually run without distraction. And like, a part of me agrees with him, but sometimes I don't want to hear my own thoughts.
I hear them all day anyway.
Sometimes I'd rather not hear what I have to say.
Cat number 2.
He
Hi,
was
cat number 2.
so I grabbed him so he would stop screaming. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. Would you rather come in 4th in the Olympics or 1st in the New York City Marathon?
Uh, like you're saying fourth overall at the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
I think I would go New York City Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd also go marathon.
Yes, New York City Marathon. 100%. This was my favorite one that I found. Would you rather give up running for 3 years to get a BQ or never BQ and run as much as you want?
Um,
I'd pro-
I will.
well, you go.
I was just gonna say, based off like how the last 3 years of my life have been, running has been so chaotic. I think that I would give up 3 years to magically get that PQ so that I can.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I am a collector of hobbies as
Hmm.
a human.
Yeah,
So I have too many hobbies in my existence. And while I love running, if I couldn't run for 3 years, I would bike for 3 years. I would do a lot of yoga for 3 years. I would competitively walk for 3 years. Like,
Competitively walk. I love those people.
get the whole speed suit.
Yep.
Um,
um,
Running is
so
always there for you when you're ready to go back,
That's true.
exactly.
I always tell you that. It's true.
So I'm gonna agree with Kelly and take the 3 years because because you guys know I'm trying to run all 6, so I can't not
You
run,
need
I
it.
can't not
You
run
need
all
it.
10. I need it. So out of necessity for the marks I've already made on my body, I need to run Boston at some point.
Yep. You're right. Okay. So
So for me, it's part of my long-term art goal, life goal, milestones to run Boston and finish it at least once. So
I'll
I
be
would
there. I'll be there spectating for that.
probably gonna
Whenever
be
it
the last one.
happens for
It'll be
you.
the last one. I'll be getting my last tattoo with it most likely.
Mike,
Not
that's
my
right.
last ever, but the last one for that piece.
Yeah.
Just went for cats instead of stars. You guys have hats, I got a cat tat. So, it all works out.
So surprisingly, with the way I run and how competitive I am with myself, I would actually I would rather run as much as I want and never VQ.
Yeah.
I don't I'm one of like very few people I know who don't have the goal of getting all 6 stars. I'm happy that I'm just going to Chicago at this point. Like, that's my biggest reach at this point.
I'll be
Yeah.
curious to see your take on it after running Chicago. Like if you get bit by the bug after the second World Marathon Major.
I don't
That's what it
know.
was. Honestly, it's once we got into Berlin, was
Yeah,
like, I got into Berlin. I want to do the other 4 now. Like,
right.
why not? I've already gotten to one of the international ones.
I
Like,
think that
what's
like
stopping me? I've
maybe if
traveled now.
if you guys were like still traveling for races like that in a few years and like randomly you both were like, we're in Berlin again, you know what I mean? Like
Arthur Carson
maybe
says
I'd
in
want to
Berlin
go do
again.
that. I don't know. Like right now, I still have so much anxiety surrounding leaving my
Yeah.
family that
Hmm.
like right now I'm not ready to be that far
Yeah.
away.
No, that
You
makes
know?
sense.
Especially international travel with two young ones is tough.
Right. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to bring them. So like they need to be old enough for me to leave them here.
Look, come on, Katie. Mike and I always say we're waiting for Japan, so we could go together, so we can go to Tokyo Disneyland. Don't you
I
want to
mean,
Tokyo
but
Disney?
you also know how I feel about Disneyland. Like I waited until my son was 6 for him to know that Disneyland was actually a real place and not just a picture on a movie.
That
But
was one of the
imagine
first, that was like the first story you ever told me on a run. Was that your son was like, Mom, did you know that Disney's a real place?
Did you know you
What?
can go there? And I was like, what? You
Who
have got to
told
be
you this?
kidding
Who
me.
told you this
This is freaking
information?
brand new information.
that's why you take him to the Tokyo one though, because then you have to be like, you have to go all the way around the world to get there, and that's why it's a special treat.
Maybe when they're a little bit bigger, we'll see. But yeah, I would definitely I'd rather never be cute. It's just not something that's ever been in like my I
Yeah,
don't even I know this sounds weird, but I would love to watch it. Like I would just love to be there and
yeah.
experience that day as a
Yeah,
spectator,
I get
you
that.
know.
So
That's
honestly, I
something
don't
we should
think,
consider one of these springs. We should consider that.
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do. Marathon Monday down in Boston.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because like truthfully, I don't think I'll ever like qualify for it, but once you get once you have 4 stars, Abbott's puts you in like drawings and you can get extra drawings for lotteries through Abbott's for
Really?
yeah, so once you have 4, you get like you get like one extra ballot for whatever your last 2 races are. And once you have 5, they give you like 2 or 3 extras
Oh, that's
for
kind of
whatever your
cool.
last races. Yeah, because they want people to do it. Like they want to incentivize
Little
people to do it.
marketing scheme.
Oh, listen, it's working. It's working.
Okay,
I'm
guys,
almost at 3.
to close to close us out, tell me what your weekend run plans are.
Oh, my weekend run plans. Well, Kelly, I'm going with you to New York City on Saturday. We have the mini 10K.
Yep.
And then Ken tricked me and he was like, "Hey, if you run extra on Tuesday, we can change your run on Sunday." So I'm thinking, let me run extra and then I won't have to run on Sunday. Turns out I just have to run less on Sunday.
Hi.
I'm running both days. That's my plan.
Okay. Mike?
I think I have 4 miles this weekend. I think is on the schedule. So probably just go out Saturday morning or something. Maybe I'll do it Saturday morning because you guys are running Saturday too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just run, but I won't go to. I'm not going to Manhattan
Yeah.
if I don't need to.
And your Manhattan doesn't run
So,
near us in the race. We're on the other side of the barrier tape.
yeah. No, because then you'll let me to get in, and then I'm like, no, I'm not here.
It's an all ladies race. You wouldn't be allowed.
No, you wouldn't be allowed in.
Oh wait, this is the women's one. Oh, this is the one that I wasn't allowed to sign up for.
This is the
Sorry.
other one, women's one that you're not allowed in for.
Yeah, so now there's 2. It's 2 I can't do.
Believe it or not.
Okay, guys, we got less than a minute before we get kicked out. So that is that.
All right,
15 weeks to
guys.
go.
Oh,
See
that
you
was
next
cute.
week.
See you next. Well, you guys see each other on Saturday.
I'll see you in 2 days.
Good night.
Night.
Night.